Hi everyone and welcome to day one of Wonderland week. What's Wonderland week, I hear you wondering? So I have started a friend mail for someone and I found out that they really like Alice in Wonderland, and to be quite honest with you, I have gone Alice in Wonderland crazy. I've had so much fun making all sorts of bits and pieces, and I'm going to take you over the next 7 days. I'm going to share each of the things one a day, hence it being Alice in Wonderland week. And I have to say, this person I know likes Alice in Wonderland, but I also love Alice in Wonderland, so I've had just the best time creating all these bits and pieces. And today, what I'm going to share with you is this charm here, which as I say, it's inspired by Alice in Wonderland, so this to me has been inspired by the Queen of Hearts. So there's different reds, blacks and golds, and then it's all on a gold one with a little black diamond Dewberry Firkin there, glass charm. And I'm going to show this one to you, and then we're also going to make one on camera because I know a few of you have asked for a tutorial on these things. And I've even got blue Alice nails to celebrate. Honestly, I can't even explain to you how excited I am about the next few things I'm going to be showing you. But as I say, first things first, Amy, stick to the charm. So this one here, I've got two little jingle bells on it. So there's a little red jingle bell here and a little gold jingle bell here. We've got one of these glass globe charms from AliExpress. And then on the chain itself, there's some black 4mm bicones, some red opaque 4mm bicones, and some red translucent 4mm bicones, and some gold 4mm pearls. So those are the beads that I used for this one. And I'm sorry, the lighting's really terrible. Let me bring this over a bit. Oh, can you see that better? Sorry, it's quite late here, so I've only got my studio lights on, and it's not as bright as I would have hoped. But that's the charm, that's the first charm that I made. And I'm going to zoom you in. I'm going to start going through how I made this. So first off, I need to get myself my findings and bits and pieces that I need. So for this one, I want it to be more inspired by Alice. So I'm going to use some different shades of blue, but I'm going to stick with the gold theme. Now normally I would team up blue with gold, but I wanted it to tie in with this one, and most of the colours I've used throughout the piece are gold. And also the glass globe charm, I've lost it, let me get another one. The glass globe charm that I want to use for this one is this light blue, but the top is gold, so I'm having to kind of stick with the gold findings theme. So I want that glass globe charm. Then I'm going to get my findings box, and from this I want one 12mm lobster clasp. Take that out. I want one 5cm gold extension chain. I'm going to need four 6mm gold jump rings. There's 3. Make that 4. I need 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 of those I need. And then I also need a load of gold. They're not split pins, what are they? Head pins. I need head pins. So let me just get a few out, and then I'll leave the rest in the box for the minute. Then I need different blue beads, and I'm going to just move this charm out of the way for a minute. So I've got these 4mm dark blue translucent bicones. So I'm going to take out 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got these teal 4mm pearls, so I'm going to take out 5 of these. Now there's no reason I'm taking out 5, I just generally find that if I take 4 or 5 of each of the colours, then that normally gives me enough for a charm, and with a few left over. And I prefer to have a few left over than have to keep making the charms as we go. Then I've got these gold 4mm pearls that I used in the previous one. So I've taken out 5 of those, pop them on there as well. And then some royal blue 4mm pearls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's quite blue heavy this, isn't it? Might do some more gold actually. And then I've got these sort of teal 4mm opaque bicones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop one over there. And I'm going to do, just to break it up, I'm going to do a few more gold because I think I'm going to need more of those. Now this is definitely more than I'm actually going to need for my charm, but what I tend to do is any ones that are left over go into this little tin here, and then I've got, when I do my next project, for example if I wanted silver, then I could take out any of these that are already made and then I can add them to the project that I'm doing. So the tools that I'm going to need, I need 2 pairs of chain nose pliers. I forgot I was going to call them pointy pliers for a second then. I also need, oh no, where's it gone? Here it is. I'm also going to need my round nose pliers because I'm going to be using my Beadsmith one-step looper tool, turn it the right way so you can see it, and it's not always accurate in making what they're called, loops at the top of your head pins. So the first thing I need to do is I need to pop my little bells onto my jump rings. So I'm going to use my pliers to hold one side of the jump ring, and then I'm going to use my other pliers on the other side, and then I'm literally just going to twist. I'm not going to pull it apart because then I ruin the circle of the jump ring. Then I'm going to thread, sorry, I can't really see the screen of the phone very well. It's kind of a guessing game if I'm in frame. Thread my little bell on, take my 2 pairs of pliers, and then twist back. Pinch it if I need to. Okay, so there's my first bell on my first jump ring. Then I'm going to take this one, twist, pop on my gold bell, pop these on, and twist. Then I'm going to take a 3rd jump ring, open this one up, and this one I'm going to thread onto the lobster clasp. So that one's ready. I'm trying to do all my prep now so that when it comes to assembling the charm it's a lot easier. Now my lobster clasp is on, and then I'm not going to add this one just for a second yet, but that's what I'll be doing with that one. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to thread each of these beads onto a head pin. So you literally, I tend to do this in stages, so you could thread one on, I can't even see the hole, they're really small these beads. You could thread one on, make the loop, thread one on, make the loop, but I tend to thread them all onto the head pins and then make all the loops in one go. So I'm just going to speed this up. I'm going to thread on all of my beads and move this out of the way. Okay, so that's all my beads threaded onto these head pins. Now, when I make these charms, I use my one-step looper tool. So basically all I have to do is take my head pin, slide it through, there's a hole on the other side, oh sorry, where my head pin comes out, and then I go until the bead pushes up to that part there, and then I literally squeeze, it makes a little loop, there's my little bead here, and then this gets cut off for me, and then I can just pop that out the way, pop them in the bin. Sometimes these are a little bit fiddly, you've got to give them a bit of a wiggle to get them out, wiggle wiggle, and occasionally, this one's not too bad, but occasionally the loop's not quite complete, and that's why I have my round nose pliers, because I pop them in here, and then I just push them around like that to just close that gap slightly. And then with these I just pop them to one side, and then they're ready to use in a moment. So I'm going to do that with all of these. Now there is a way to do this without, but I'm rubbish at it. I'll give it a go, but I can't promise anything's going to happen. So what you do with your round nose pliers is you pinch the bead, or pinch the head pin, sorry, very close to the bead, and you bend the head pin at a 90-degree angle. So you bend it around like that. Then you move your round nose pliers just past the gap like this. Sorry, it's really hard to see because it's not very bright. Just past the gap, just slightly further up the pliers, sort of the size of the loop that you want, and then you bend your loop round, okay? Or before you bend it, you trim it off. So you normally cut it at about 1 centimetre. So now I've got what looks like that, a 90-degree angle, and about 1 centimetre of, probably need a little bit less than that, to be honest. That's more like 1 centimetre there. Then using my round nose pliers, I'm going to grip the end, I'm going to curl it round, oh sorry, not even in frame, I'm going to curl it all the way round. This is so hard to do on camera. And then I have a really terribly done loop. Now, because I'm so rubbish at showing these, I've never done something so tiny on camera. Oh, see? I apologise, I'm going to drop things all the time now. Because I've never done something so tiny on camera, it's really hard to show you, but that's basically what you do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to link to what's her name? I think her name's Alicia. Anyway, her channel was On the Beaded Path and she does some really great tutorials, and that's how I learned back in the day. And I'll link her version of making the loops, because I'm just going to use this little machine here, and as I say, if it makes more like a hook like this, then I can just use my pliers to just tighten that up a little bit to make it an actual loop. And to show you terribly the alternative one more time, pinch the head pin just above the bead, bend at a 90-degree angle like this, cut down to about 1 centimetre, about that much. Be careful if you've got children or animals that you know where these are sort of flicking off to. I'm just doing it on my bed, so it's only really me that gets bothered by this. So let me see if I can show you now on camera. You pinch that a little way up the pliers, and now I can simply twist them and roll it round, and now I've made a loop. And then if it's not quite a closed loop, it's more like a hook, I can just pop in the point of my pliers, twist like that, and now I've got a loop. So that's just as simple as using the tool. I'm just not as accurate with that as I am when I use the tool. That one's much better than my original little attempt though, which was like this. So it does take a little bit of practice, but once you've got the hang of it, I used to be alright at these, but then I got the tool and I never needed to do them. So now I'm just kind of used to using this, I suppose. Right, I'm going to make all of my little loops, and then we'll join back together and I'll show you how to make the charm. Okay, so I've made all of my little bead charms. I've got my other bits on my jump rings. Now I need to work on the extension chain. Now I've experimented with lots of different ways to do this, and the way that I found the easiest is to pre-open all of the chain pieces. There are loads and loads of tutorials on YouTube, and I also just suggest in having a go yourself and just seeing what works best for you. But what I tend to do is open these extension chain pieces just like a jump ring. So you just find the opening, if my camera will let me focus. You find the opening, you make sure it's at the top, you have one pair of pliers on either side, and you twist and it opens, and then you just hook it off, and there you go, one extension chain piece. And each of these links can be detached, and you just need to do that with each of them. And then I just find this makes putting it back together so much quicker, because I used to do it link by link, but then I always found that it was incredibly fiddly, and I've just found that this is the quickest way. It's a lot of prep work. As you can see, you make all your beads in advance, you thread on each of your bells in advance, or charms, or any added pieces that you want to use, and you pre-open each of your little extension chain links. But then I just find that this is what I find the best method. So So let me just finish these and we'll come back together. Okay, so I've opened every extension link chain link even, except for the very last one. That one I'm going to keep whole for a minute, because I'm going to take my final jump ring, my 6mm jump ring from the beginning. I'm going to open that up and I'm going to thread on, I'm going to thread on one of my beads, my glass globe. Let's try again. I'm going to thread on one of my beads, the glass globe, and one of the other beads, trying to make it a little bit different to the first one. Then I'm going to thread on my extension chain link, and I'm going to close this jump ring, taking care to make sure that it is completely closed. Now I can hold this bead from the extension link, and you can see that that is the beginning of my charm. I've got my beads, and then I've got my first link. Now I don't add anything else to this to that link, because I think it just gets in the way of this little connection here, and then it just makes the chain look a bit too busy. So I do tend to leave that first little bit empty, as you can see. So that first link I don't add anything to. So what I've just done is I've threaded on my next extension chain link, and then I'm going to hold that with one of my pliers. Now I've got a gold bead on this side, so it doesn't particularly matter what bead goes on next, but I just kind of want to make it a little bit different to that one. So there's no rhyme or reason. Because that's a round pearl, I'm going to use one of the bicones. I'm going to put it on that side. Then I'm going to swap pliers. And then I need to put a bead on the other side, so one that I haven't used yet. And now I can close that link. Now without putting that down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one of my other chain pieces, and I'm going to hook on to that chain piece that I was just using. So now I'm just holding it by the extension chain, and I'm going to repeat the process. So I'm going to have a look and think, right, what's on that side? I've got gold, I've got a bicone, I haven't got any dark blue on that side yet, so perhaps now I'm going to take one of the dark blue pieces. I'm going to thread that on. Then I'm going to swap hands, hold it on that side, and I'm going to choose a bead for this side. I'm going to choose a gold one, and then I'm going to close it. Now I'm not going to put it down, I'm going to keep holding it with my left hand. With my right hand I'm going to pick up the next extension chain piece, and I'm going to hook it on. So I'm constantly keeping it suspended. I'm not using my hands, I'm constantly alternating. That's why I need 2 pairs of pliers. I'm constantly alternating. I'm going to do, should I do the bell now? How many did I go up for this one? No, let's do one more and then we'll do the bell. So let's have a look. So we've got some pearls on that side. Let's do one of these tealy pieces. In fact, I haven't got a teal pearl yet, have I? Oh no, but I've got pearls on this side already. So I'm going to thread that one on this side. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to put a teal one on this side. Now I'm going to close it up. I'm going to pick up the next chain piece with my pliers. It's not picked up very well. Then I'm going to thread that on. Again, I've not put it down, I'm just holding onto it. So this time I'm going to pop on, I think I'm going to do the blue bell this low down. Pop the blue bell on here. Hold it on this side. What should I put on the other side? Random mix. I've picked up, a dark blue pearl. There we go. As I say, I try not to think about the placement of the beads too much. I just try not to have too many of the same together. So I've just closed that link. I'm going to pick up the next link with my pliers, thread it on. And now, I do tend to drop this quite often. Let's be honest, I'm one of the clumsiest people, I'm sure anyone here knows. I've got better by doing it in this way, where I just alternate and I just use my little pliers as my hands. And I just found that I've been so much more successful doing it this way. And that's why I pre-prep everything. So as you can see, all I'm doing is stringing it all together now. I'm not having to make anything, because that is what takes the time. The time is taken up when you're sitting there constantly having to make each of the little charm pieces, when you're trying to work out what colours to do. Just make a job lot. Yes, you'll end up with a few extra, but if you intend to make more than one charm like I do, you're going to use them at some point, even if you don't use them in the near future. This is quite a short extension chain piece. There's not that many links actually to this one. This one is much longer. If I compare them, I've only got 3 pieces left. Oh, I suppose it's not as short as I thought. It is a bit shorter than this one though, by a few pieces. Anyway, I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to put the other bell on. So what should we do? Let's do a dark blue pearl. Oh, holding that a bit wonky. Swap hands. I don't want to do gold again. Let's do one of these ones. Whoop! See? Told you. Sometimes I drop it. Get a little bit gung-ho. Oh, so it's not that one. It's the one before I've not closed properly. One moment. What I need to do is I just need to open that one again, so I can thread this one back on. Close that one back up. Pick that one back up. Now I can close that one properly. Now, because I don't make jewellery regularly, I'm not the best at this. However, I enjoy making them, and I think that's what crafting's all about, to be quite honest with you. I don't think it should matter whether or not you're the best at what you do. I think it should just matter whether or not you have fun doing it. That's how I look at it anyway. Let's pop the bell on now. Love it, love a little jingle bell. Little jingle bell. Let's close that one up. So I've only got 2 little chain links left. Let's hook that one on. Now let's do, got a couple of gold pieces next to each other there, which is unfortunate. Let's do a teal pearl. I like those. Let's do one of those. Actually, that's the same side. I'm going to save that one a minute. Let's do that one first. Hold on to that side. Close that link up. Oh, come on, friend. That's a tough one, that one is. Whoa. Now, I'm sorry for anyone that thought, you know, this is going to be one of those high-end tutorials, but this is just someone having a go. And as I said, that should be more important. If you want a fan-dabby-dozy tutorial, there are hundreds of people on YouTube that do them, and they certainly have better recording equipment than I do. Right, this is my last one, so let's pop on a gold pearl, because it's very blue heavy, this one. Pop on a gold pearl on that side, and let's do, right, random choice, this one. Oh, a dark blue pearl. Good choice, Amy, I like that one. And now, before I close that one up, because it's the last one, I need to take my little lobster clasp and the jump ring. I need to hook that on before I close this final extension chain link. Close that up, and there we have it. Not as difficult as it may appear. As I say, you just want to make sure that you try not to put too many of the same one next to each other. Just try and alternate them. I love the little jingle bells on it, and these glass globes, you know how much I love those. So there we go. So that's the blue version, and there is the red and black and gold version I had already made. Now let me just clear some of these bits away. So these little extra pieces that I've got here, I'm just going to take my little tin and I'm going to pop them inside. Never ever throw anything out, because they can always be used for the next project. I love these little tins, take more detours. Lovely sentiment. And then I've got all of my little metal bits over here ready to go in the bin. I'm going to pop my pliers away. And then what I'm going to do, if it doesn't make you too dizzy, is I'm just going to try and move into the light a little bit better. Oh, sorry, my big fat hand. Oh, what is happening? There we go. Let's just try come a little bit closer so that you can see these in detail. Now I couldn't do it this close when I filmed because, as you can see, I could barely stay in frame as it was. But there's the little black, red and gold one. And what I like about this one is I did it Alice in Wonderland themed, but that also could be kind of Disney. You could do a Disney theme with those colours, couldn't you? And this, I have to say, has come out better than I thought it would. Because I like blues and purples with silver normally. I'm not normally a gold person, but I quite like that little combination. And who doesn't love a little jingle bell? So those are my two little charms. Now I can't remember which number in the 100 Things Challenge these are, so I'm just going to pop it on the screen now. Because, as I say, I'm well ahead with the filming. I just can't upload anything yet because these are for people's friend mails, so it's really frustrating. But there you go, for those of you that wanted a tutorial. I'm sorry it's obviously not the most professional, but I enjoy making them, so hey ho! So these ones, as I say, this is from day 1 of Wonderland week, and over the next few days you'll see what these are going to be used for. So I hope you'll tune in tomorrow for day 2, and I'll see you in my next video. Please give this a like and a subscribe if you are inspired by these, and if you do make any of these, please comment and direct me towards your channel or Instagram or anything like that, just so I can have a look, so I can see how you're doing, because I love inspiring people. And if this does inspire you to make one, even if it's completely different, if you're just inspired to make a charm, I would love to see them. So take care everybody, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.